Hello again, welcome everyone to the number 8 video in this series of doing the I ratings on Pilotedge. Today we're going to be flying the I-8 rating from Santa Catalina to San Diego in the Diamond 62 Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India. And let's go ahead and brief the flight real quick. So this will be an IFR flight out of a non-towered airport, Santa Catalina, and we're going to request vectors for the localizer runway 27 approach in San Diego, which is a non-precision approach, which means we're going to have lateral guidance on the approach, but not vertical guidance. There's no glide slope to intercept. We have to descend according to the altitude that will be depicted on the approach chart for the localizer runway 27 at San Diego. So obviously we're building up on the previous knowledge. We have arrived at a non-towered airport IFR in the last rating, and we canceled IFR from the ground. Could have been also canceled from the air, but it was something new that we learned. Today is going to be an IFR departure from a non-towered airport, and I'm going to walk you through the process as we do it. We're going to also look up a tick route, which we know how to do, and we're going to do this right now between Santa Catalina or Avalon and San Diego. And also it's interesting in the IFR departure, how do maintain obstacle and terrain separation. This is called obstacle departure procedure. We're going to look that up and how to get out of Santa Catalina as IFR traffic and the airport is non-towered. Okay. So quickly, we need to look up that tick route for this flight. I'm assuming that you've read the briefing already. I will explain everything as we do it during the flight, but of course I'm assuming that you've read the briefing on the Pilotedge website, probably watched the video, and again I encourage you to watch the videos or these workshops that are listed at the bottom of this rating. Departures Demystified, Instrument Approaches Part 2, and non-towered operations. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and look up the tick route, and we use the myflightroute.com, and if you go on the top under pre-flight tick route search, I put the departure and arrival airports. Here we go, from Avalon to San Diego, and I have two tick routes here. One if San Diego is doing normal operations operating west, and one specific if San Diego is operating east. And we can look up real quick San Diego weather right now, and or even we have a digital ADAS right here. Okay, it says landing on runway 27 in the digital ADAS, which is operating west. Okay, so that's good right there. That means we will use CSTP 56. CSTP 56. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and file the flight plan. IFR, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, DA62, and the Gulf or G suffix, 180 key AV, here we go, and Avalon to San Diego. It says in the tick route that the altitude is 5,000. We're flying easterly, and it has to be odd, so 5,000. Here we go. Do I need to pick an alternate? We'll go back again when we check the weather in San Diego. VFR, taps are VFR. Looks like we are okay. We don't need to pick an alternate. The tick route is here. CSTP 56, double check again. CSTP 56 for San Diego operating west or operating normally west. Okay, so we come back here. In the remarks, I'm going to put ODP, meaning I'm going to follow the obstacle departure procedure out of Santa Catalina. I'm not using custom weather. I'm not going to check the box. Make sure in item 13 again to select the I-8 rating. Go ahead now and file the flight plan. Flight plan is filed successfully. Okay, so here we are. Santa Catalina, Diamond 62, Hotel Alpha, Delta Alpha, India. I'm going to go ahead now and click ready to fly. And first thing I'm going to do right here, here we go. Well, the weather doesn't look right, so I'm going to inject now the weather from Rick's Force, one of the add-ons that are listed below the video in the description. So it's injecting it right now, and we will take it from there. Okay, so it looks like flight plan is filed, and we're going to get ready now to copy our IFR clearance real quick. So come back here. Okay, and back plus, here we go. We don't have ADAS information here, we just have weather from, as you can see, 1 second, from the MOS, which is 31 minutes ago, showing broken at 2,500. And now you can see the weather has been injected already by Rick's Force, and the wind is westerly. We'll look at the windsock anyways as we taxi. Okay, it looks like we have the weather, we have the numbers, no ADAS information here. And we get ready now to copy our IFR clearance real quick. And it is going to be craft again. Destination airport is Limburg. 1 second, and we come here, San Diego International. Lindbergh, also is called Limburg or San Diego International, that's fine. Here we go. We come back here, San Diego International. And like we discussed before, you are now in the ground in Catalina. That means most likely you might not be able to pick up the, and this is a non-towered airport, and you want to pick up an IFR clearance. If you look here under Catalina or Avalon, that clearance delivery or South Cal approach, there's a phone number to call. And Pilotedge simulates calling this phone number by tuning in the frequency 122.2. So we're going to tune in 122.2, and we're going to talk to South Cal approach and pick up our IFR clearance that we filed. Okay, so go ahead now and connect to Pilotedge. Connect Delta Alpha India, Diamond 62. Double check before connecting you quick that I'm not going to spawn over someone else. So I will check on the map at Catalina. And I don't see anybody there right now. So we are good. So I'm going to go ahead and connect now. Connected to network, okay. And logged into network. Looking good. Come back here. Okay. Quickly master on. And we dial 122.2. I'm going to put this COM1. Bring in the Simionic so you can see what I am doing in the preparation phase. Okay, 122.2. And the frequency is tuned in. And transponder VFR. And again, the transponder is not actually transmitting the altitude mode to Pilotedge. I would have to press here on mode Charlie in order for them to receive my position and altitude because of a problem with the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Okay, so this will be South Cal approach, and I'm going now to get my clearance. South Cal approach, good morning, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India on the ground at Avalon, IFR to San Diego. Okay, looks like the comm is incorrect. Try again. South Cal approach, good morning, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India on the ground at Avalon, IFR to San Diego.
HADAI, SoCal approach. Clear to San Diego Limber Airport as filed. Maintain 4,000. Expect 5,000. 1 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 127.4. Squawk 7054. Hold for release.
Clear San Diego International as filed. Climate team 4,000. Expect 5 after 10 minutes. Departure frequency 127.4. Squawk 7054. Hold for release. Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India.
Read back correct. Advise ready for departure.
Welcome. Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India. Okay, so something very interesting on this rating now that you've heard for the first time. The hold for release. And we need to understand what this means. It means here, right now I received my IFR clearance, but the airport is still open for other IFR traffic to leave or to come because I am not ready yet to depart IFR. I have to let the controller know that I will depart IFR. I'm ready now. Everything is red. I'm ready to go. And this way I will get an IFR clearance to get out of the airport. And he will shut down the IFR traffic in and out of the airport until my clearance time is void or I'm in the air with him and so forth and departing the area. And this way operations can continue. Okay, so we'll set the aircraft right now. And we'll get back to the clearance and setting up the avionics in just a second. Okay, so I need to start the engine, just make sure that fuel, okay, go maybe with, okay, this is good, sufficient. Alright, so we turn the fuel pump on, also the alternator's on for the diamond when you start, and strobe lights on. Lift master on. Low volts, battery's low. Not good because we had it on for a while. Okay. Good. Now that message is gone because I am using the generators, alternators now. Okay. Looks like blood pressure is good. Come back. And right glow light is gone. Starting the right engine. It looks everything is in the green. We're good in that case. Alright, so avionics were on already. Hold on, fuel pump off. P2 heat on. And looks like we're good. And we go ahead now set up the avionics for the flight according to our clearance. Okay, so go ahead now and put the tech route that we filed. Bring that up again. Here is the tech route that was filed. CSTP 56. So go to flight plan, menu, delete flight plan. Good. Also here I like to turn off the minimum, because this was from the previous rating. Okay, back to flight plan. First thing is our airport, Avalon. show you real quick. Here's Avalon, and it looks like we have Santa Catalina VR, Sierra X-Ray Charlie, correct. Then we insert Vector 208 menu, load airway, Vector 208, there it is, and we're going to exit at Oceanside VR. Here's Oceanside. Load. After that, we're going to load another Vector airway, that's Vector 23, so menu, load airway, Vector 23, and we're going to exit at Mike Zulu Bravo. Here it is. Load, and the destination KSAN. Here's KSAN, and enter. Looks like the flight plan is set. Okay, so back again to our clearance as filed. It is done. Cloud maintain 4,000. I will put 4,000 on the altitude indicator. Departure frequency 127.4. I'm going to put 127.4. 127.4. COM 1. Standby. And on COM 2, I'm going to put the CTAF frequency for Avalon, and that is 122.7. I'm going to put 122.7 real quick. Here's 122.7. Okay, it looks the comms are good to go, and then we'll come back again to our clearance. So before set, everything else is set, and we have the squawk 7054. So transponder code 7054. That's good, and I come to the Pilotedge client and click One Charlie. That is set already, and it looks like everything is set here. It would be a good idea also to tune in. Well, we have Santa Catalina VR is tuned in already on 111.4. It would be also a good idea to put as backup. If we look back at our route, real quick, that after Santa Catalina VR is radial, you can see 084. So what I'm going to do is go to CDI and put radial 084. For the first airway, Vector 208. So 084. Good for backup. Okay, so that would be the Vector airway radial. I'm going to use the GPS anyway, so it's good to have backup. After that, I have Oceanside VR in the route. This 115.3. It's good to put it as backup, or the standby frequency. Here, 115.3. And I can put a nav to the last VR station. I believe it's Mission Bay, 117.8. So come back here and do 117.8. Looks like things are looking good. And for now, let me double check the flight plan. So menu, activate leg. Okay, so it looks like, or I would actually activate the leg between Santa Catalina VR and Abel's. Okay, menu, activate leg. Okay. Look, you can see that the radial and this are pretty much the same for the departure. Okay, another thing we need to also look at, we talked about, is how am I going to depart IFR from this airport? I don't have a departure procedure. I don't have a heading. Do I just go ahead and take off and just turn to the Victor Airway? That would not make any sense. So let me put this before, insert before Victor 28. There you go. No, it doesn't work like this. So in that case, I have to look at the departure procedure, obstacle departure procedure for this particular airport. Here's procedure, departure, takeoff minimum, FAA, and here you have all the obstacle departure procedures for all the airports in the United States, the non-towered airports. And if we look here real quick, it says here Avalon, takeoff, we're going to take off runway 22. Well, the departure procedure says here that you climb straight ahead to 2300, then proceed on course. Okay, so I climb straight ahead to 2300, then I will turn left. I'll climb that way, here we go, to 2300, and then I will turn left to Victor 208, or Santa Catalina Victor 208. Okay, it looks good. Done. And looks like we're set now with everything. So we start our taxi, announcing our taxi on the CTAP frequency, and when I'm ready for departure, number one, I'm going to call on 122.8 again to get released get my IFR release. Alright folks, looks like we're good. Here's the aircraft. 2300 straight ahead, and I think runway 22, so let's put the heading bug 220. That's what the heading I'm going to climb, and then I'll turn left. I would probably actually also on the flight plan go, I'm going to go direct to Santa Catalina after takeoff. Okay, we're good. Make sure now that I have the proper frequency tuned in. I have 122.7, it's on COM2, so I activate COM2 now. I am now on COM2. Very good. Taxi light on, brake released. Avalon traffic, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, over at South Hangars, taxiing holding point runway 22 Avalon. That's it, just like what you used to do in the CAT ratings. And we go ahead now and start our taxi.
Approaching runway 0422. Entered runway 0422. Entered runway 22, 671 meters remaining.
Obviously we haven't entered anything, but...
Entered runway 22, 732 meters remaining. Entered runway 22, 792 meters remaining.
Okay, so it looks like now...
Entered runway 22, 914.
Okay, thank you for flight. And now, we'll get the aircraft ready for departure. All lights on. Fuel pump on. Lateral, vertical, comm frequencies, everything is set. I'll check again. The altimeter is 3003. I set that already. And to double check that, we can check the airfield elevation. You'll see that it's about 1600. We have 1560. Okay, 3003. We're good now. So I'm going to go ahead now and call South Cal departure and get my IFR release. 122.2. South Cal approach, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, number 1 for departure IFR out of Avalon.
HADI release for departure. Clearance void if not off in 3 minutes. If not off in 3 minutes, advise intentions this frequency not later than 8 minutes. Change to advise frequency approved.
Clearance void in 3 minutes, so advise if not within 8 minutes. Change frequency approved to Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India. Okay, so give me 3 minutes. Okay, advisory frequency is COM2, so we go to COM2. First I'm going to put the departure frequency on COM1, 7.4, then I'm going to put COM2. Okay, let's go. And I'm COM2 now, again in the TTAF. Avalon traffic, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, lining up, taking off runway 22, straight ahead departure to 2300, then turning south. Avalon. That's it.
Approaching runway 22. Entered runway 22, 914 meters remaining.
Runway 22 identified. There's no other traffic. I need to... Okay. And here we go. Take off power set. Airspeed alive, engine instruments all green. .78, rotate. Pilot, heading. Positive rate, gear up. Lights off. Fuel pump off. Reduce the power. And we need to climb straight ahead to 2300. Then we turn to Catalina. Flight 2. Enter. 22. And 23 activate. And I'm going to put nav. And call now COM1. And I'm on departure frequency. South Cal approach. Good morning, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India 2600 for 4000.
HADI, SoCal departure. Ident.
Ident, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India. Okay, we have to ident and you do it from the client. Press ident here.
HADI, radar contact over Santa Catalina, climb maintain 5000.
Climb maintain 5000, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India. Okay, so change the altitude to 5000. Vertical speed. That's good, 1500 feet per minute, so I center the heading bug. And we're good. Santa Catalina, and then we're following our route. $1,000 to go. Alright folks, and this is pretty much how to depart IFR from a non-towered airport. You call them, you get your clearance, get your aircraft ready, you communicate on the CTAF frequency for the non-towered airport, as usual. That used to do what you used to do back in the day on the CAT ratings. When you number off for departure, you go back and call the phone number, which is here 122.2, get your IFR release.
Thanks, 1214 Los Angeles Center, good morning.
And you get your IFR release, and you give you a time window, otherwise that clearance would be void. We switch back to the CTAF frequency, announce our takeoff, what direction we're taking off to, etc. Then we switch back again to the departure frequency that we had received in the clearance. And 99.9% when you do that, they're going to ask you to ident. You go ahead and ident. And then you continue on your route. Most likely that I'm going to fast forward a lot of parts of this flight, as everything else is just standard being handed over from frequency to frequency until I get to the South Cal approach frequency for that handles San Diego Class Bravo airspace. And in that case I will have my ADAS and request the approach. So we'll see you again when we're close to San Diego.
Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, contact SoCal approach 119.6.
119.6, SoCal approach, Hotel Alpha Delta India, good day. 6. South Cal approach, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, good morning, level at 5,000.
HADI, SoCal approach, San Diego altimeter 3003, advise you have ADAS and approach request.
3003, request change frequency to grab the ADAS, 2 minutes, we'll report back.
Roger that, let me know when you're back.
Welcome, Hotel Alpha Delta Avenue. Okay, San Diego. ADAS is 134.8, so we go to 134.8.
VFR departures, contact clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact, you have information November. San Diego International Lindbergh Field, ATIS information November. 1551 Zulu, wind 260 at 6, visibility 10, ceiling 3000 overcast. Temperature 21, dew point 14, altimeter 3003, arriving and departing runway 27, localizer and Arnav runway 27 approach in use. VA.
South Cal approach, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, back on the frequency with November, request vectors for the localizer only approach, runway 27.
HADI, roger, fly heading 110, vector localizer, runway 27 approach.
Heading 110, vectors for localizer, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India.
94 Whiskey, contact SoCal approach 135.4.
135.4, 94 Whiskey.
Okay, so it looks like this is pretty quick. So we go ahead now in 4 flight real quick, and we get ready. We're going to brief the approach.
SoCal approach, Cessna 52904 Whiskey, level 6000.
First thing is in the GPS itself. Procedure, select approach.
5294 Whiskey, SoCal approach, Ontario, altimeter 3001.
Localizer 27.
3001.
Vectors. We look at the minimum real quick, so come back to 4 flight procedure. Approach, localizer, vectors to final, and add route. Folks, the minimum here is an MDA. It's an unprecision approach. It says 680. I'm going to add 50 feet to it, and I'm going to put 730. So 730 in the Simionic. Enter and activate because I'm being vectored right now. The frequency for the localizer is 110.9er, as you can see here, and it's already tuned in on nav1 by the G1000. We come back and quickly brief the approach. Okay, so this is the localizer runway 27 approach San Diego, 110.9er. It's actually tuned in already, nav1 ready to go. Final approach course is 275. 275 is already set as on the CDI. It looks like here helicopter visibility, that's not applicable to us. This is from Lindy, our nav required.
Roger.
We're being vectored, that's not an issue. And we're not with RNAV 1 DME. It says here GPS required for procedure entry. That's also not applicable to us. Inoperable table. This is regarding to the lights. KSAN B also not applicable to us. Okay, we got the ATIS already. The tower frequency is 118.3. I'm going to put this here. 118.3 on the COM1. Standby. And ground is 123.9. I'm gonna put this on COM2. 123.9. Ready. Back here. Alright, looks like we're getting vectored here, and I need to write down now the 3 magic numbers. We're gonna have to descend according to these DME distances, as you can see, and these altitudes. Once we get cleared for the localizer approach, we're just being vectored right now. The minimum is 680 plus 50 feet. I'm going to put
Destination ATIS is
730, so that's my first magic number. That's my minimum, 730. Okay, 500 to minimum is 1230. And it's interesting here, airport elevation is 17 feet, 1,000 above is 1017. It's actually between the two numbers. We're not used to this because this is a high minimum due to the fact that it's an unprecision approach. Okay, so I have 3 magic numbers here. 730, 1017.
FedEx 4214, thank you.
1230. Good, missed approach. Visual descent point. Okay, so I can keep descending until the minimum. And then here I can go missed distance 1.3 DME, or I can go missed from something called the visual descent point. Usually on a 3-degree slope, it's the MDH divided by 300 and gives you the distance. That's 663 divided by 300. 2 point something very small. 663 divided by 300. It's about 2.2 nautical miles. So this point here, it's about 2.2 nautical miles. I can go missed from here if I have to. I don't have to continue all the way to the 1.3 nautical mile distance. Okay, missed approach. It says here climb to 2500 on heading 275. Okay, pretty much runway heading on MZB Vortec radial 255 to CCAD. Okay, and hold. Let's look here. Here we go. Climb and radial 255. Let me see that again. Radial 255 from Mission Bay. This is the radial. I intercept the radial and keep going west until I get to this intersection, which is 12.3 nautical miles from Mission Bay, and halt. And the entry for the holding here is going to be a parallel entry. I call them like this. Then I come back and I hold. That's how I would enter this holding. Looks like we're good. I have Mission Bay tuned in already on nav2, so in that case maybe I should put quickly on the CDI nav2 the radial then I'm supposed to intercept radial 255, so CDI 2. Put course 255. Course 255. I'm ready now. I'll go back again to my localizer. Okay. And it looks like we're good. And we are being vectored right now. I like to call while I'm descending these distances and these altitudes and to see if how close I am to them. And then of course, as I get close to the minimum and everything, should be good. At 1230 is 500 to minimum, 1017 is 1000 above. I'm gonna call at 1230 whether I'm stabilized or not. Also 500 to minimum and stabilized, and the minimum is at 730. Should be good to go.
Delta Alpha, India flighting 180, vector final approach course, correction flighting 160, contact SoCal approach 124.35.
Heading 160, 124.35, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha, India, good day.
Air 4 Papa Lima clear, direct passive, after passive flighting 110 to maintain 5000.
Clear direct passive, after passive. November 4 Papa Lima.
South Cal approach, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha, India, good morning, level of 5000, heading 160 for the localizer.
HAD, SoCal approach, roger. Flight heading 180, vector final approach course.
Heading 180, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha, India. Guys, folks, again, I'm going to emphasize this is a localizer approach only. I am not going to get any glide slope guidance. I have to descend myself. When can I descend? When I hear the word cleared for the localizer approach runway 27. So far I haven't been cleared for it. I'm being vectored to intercept the localizer. So there's no glide slope to catch here. It's not an ILS. It's only lateral guidance, and I will have to descend according to the chart right here. I will use these DME distances in order to identify these waypoints on the localizer. So if I press approach here, well, the only thing that Autopilot is going to capture is going to be the localizer, because there's no glide slope.
HAD, flighting 240 to maintain 4000.
240, send maintain 4000 until after Delta India.
HAD, 3 miles from Vita, maintain 3,800 till established localizer, clear localizer only 27 approach.
10-3000 to reception localizer, clear for localizer 27 approach with Alpha Delta Venue. Okay, in that case I can press approach, and I will descend to 3000. actually. Let's keep 4,000 for now. And I know at 14.2 I need to be at 4,000. I'm going to descend according to. Okay, I pressed approach radio. Localizer is going to get captured. Slow down the aircraft. Okay, localizer is being captured. There we go, the aircraft is finally turning. Overshot it a little. Okay, so at 12.2 we need to be at 3600. Let's start descending now. Vertical speed, here it goes. Maybe 800 feet per minute to reduce the speed. So the next is we're at 12.6 right now. 12.2, 3600. I'm gonna now set missed approach altitude after I descend below it. Just a second. So it looks like we are going to be above that. Okay, so the next is 8.7, 2700. Next, 8.7, 2700. Right. Slow the aircraft. The aircraft's got lights on. Flaps approach. Fuel pump on. Gear down. A little bit more power. And the missed approach altitude is 2500. Okay, we'll set that in just a second. If I set it right now, the aircraft is going to stop its descent at 2500. I don't want to do that. Okay.
SoCal November 224 Papa Lima requesting vector for ILS runway 24.
4 Papa Lima, have your request. Thank you. Contact SoCal approach 119.6.
I'm reducing the vertical speed now.
119.6 November 234 Papa Lima.
Because at 8.7 minimum is 2700. Okay, increase it again.
SoCal approach November 334 Papa Lima 5,300 descending to 5,000.
334 Papa Lima, SoCal approach. Expect ILS runway 24 approach, altimeter 3001 and 5 GF8.
I don't want to go below 2700 at 8.7. Okay, and then we can continue to descend now.
Say again the rest, I'm sorry about that.
Nothing else, just expect the ILS runway 24 approach.
Expect ILS 24
Next,
approach November 224 Papa Lima.
6.5, 2000. Okay, now I can set the go around altitude, which is 2500. Vertical speed again, down. And we set at 6.5, it's coming up. We need to be at 2000, we're good. We can increase the vertical speed a little. That's 6.5, I'm 100 above, 150 feet above, it's no problem. And then we just do our call-outs now. 2.2 is my VDP, and I can continue also to 1.3. Here's beautiful San Diego. Zoom in a little, see the runway over there? There it is. At 12:30, I'm going to call stabilized, and 500 to minimum.
And approach Cessna 94 Whiskey, 3 mile final, runway 21.
Or 94 Whiskey, I don't even have you connected. Am I? Or 12 Charlie, are you here? All right, HEDI, Concord Tower 118.3.
Over 118.3, Hotel Alpha Delta India, good day. Stomach Tower, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, Diamond.
2 mile final runway 27.
Localizer 27, full stop.
Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, Lindbergh Tower, runway 27, clear to land.
Runway 27, clear to land, Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India. Okay, we're 1,000 above stabilized, 500 to minimum, clear to land. Landing checklist.
Santa
Big
Monica
green,
Tower,
slides on, fuel pump on.
Whiskey, 1.5 miles final on the GPS 21.
Number 5294 Whiskey, Santa Monica Tower, runway 21, clear to land.
Clear to land, 5294 Whiskey.
Okay, approaching minimum.
500.
San Luis Tower.
Minimum, continue.
Minimum.
105 Mike Sierra for Bears.
105 Mike Sierra, say again.
Cessna 105 Mike Sierra, we're giving your airspace pointing to south.
Roger.
John Wayne Tower, 201 Tango Charlie holding short, 20 left, ready for IFR departure.
Get 2 whites, 2 reds.
Number 201 Tango Charlie, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 left at Kilo, cleared for takeoff.
20 left at Kilo, clear for takeoff, 1 Tango Charlie.
San Diego. Idle and flare. Okay. Slow down. Take the next one. Let's not force it. I'll take the next one coming up. Flaps up. Pump off.
Santa Monica ground, Cessna 5294 Whiskey, clear runway 21 at Bravo 3.
Number 5294 Whiskey, taxi to parking via Bravo, frequency pass for the I-4.
Taxi to parking via Bravo, thanks for the pass.
Stop here. Okay, we're good now. Lindbergh Tower, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, clear runway 27 at Charlie 6, request taxi to signature.
Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, taxi to parking via Charlie, this frequency, okay.
Parking via Charlie, this frequency, Diamond Hotel Alpha Delta Alpha India, good day. That's it.
John Tower, Cessna 122 Yankee, holding short runway 20 left for IFR departure.
Number 122 Yankee, John Wayne Tower, runway 20 left at Kilo, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 20 left, 122 Yankee.
Number 1 Tango Charlie, Connect SoCal, departure today.
Over to departure, 1 Tango Charlie.
Brakes on. All lights off, except for the strobe. Pitot heat off. Avionics off.
Gillespie ground, King Air 762 Bravo Bravo. What's transient parking information? Juliet, ready to taxi.
November 762 Bravo Bravo, Gillespie ground, runway 27 right, taxi via Delta, cross runway 17 at Delta.
27 right via Delta, cross 17 at Delta, 762 Bravo Bravo.
Okay, lights off, strobes off. Everything off. Alright, we'll go ahead now debrief the flight real quick. Maps. Okay, this was an IFR departure out of an untowered airport, Santa Catalina. The procedure is as follows. We followed the TIC route. We looked it up, and then there's no ADAS, but we looked up the frequency for the weather. Usually Pilotedge, what it does is if there's an AOS frequency, it relay it to the simulator if you have live weather. But we were able to look it up at in for-flight. Wind was westerly, so we decided runway 22. We called in to get our clearance, and 122.2, which simulates a phone call for the overlying facility. Here it's South Cal approach, as you can see. 1-800-448-3724. We called on 122.2. We got our IFR clearance, so we told to hold for release. That's the new lingo that you have not been exposed to before. Meaning I cannot depart IFR out of this airport until I am released for IFR departure. I switched back after that to the CTAF frequency Unicom. I taxied, announced everything until runway 22. At the holding point when I'm number 1 for departure, I went back to 122.2, called the phone number, simulated, and I got released for departure. I got a release for departure within 3 minutes, and if not advised, within 8 minutes. That means I need to talk to him in the air within 3 minutes, otherwise my IFR clearance is void. And he said frequency change approved. I switched the frequency back to the CTAF. I announced that I'm going to be taking off runway 22, climbing straight at 2300, then turning left to the south. Once I was airborne, I switched to the departure frequency, not 122.2 anymore. I'm not talking on the phone, to the departure frequency that was given to me in the IFR clearance, which is this one right here, 127.4. 99.9% when you depart IFR from an untowered airport, once you contact the departure frequency, they're going to ask you to ident. I did ident. After that, he told me to continue climbing to 5,000. I followed my route, no issues whatsoever. I was being handed over from one frequency to the next, and then after that I grabbed the ADAS for San Diego. I think it was information November, and I requested the localizer approach, Victors for the localizer runway 27. He started to Victor me, as you can see here. I briefed the approach and got ready. This is a non-precision approach, which means I am not going to have vertical guidance, only lateral. I have to descend according to this, and I have a minimum descent altitude, 680. I give myself a 50-foot cushion. So I put 730 as my minimum when I need to decide whether to continue or to go around. I got vectored. Once I started getting vectored, I activated the approach in the G1000 with vectors to final. It put the localizer course and everything was set up for me to intercept. When I heard the words cleared for the approach, I pressed approach on the GP on the autopilot, and the autopilot intercepted the localizer. There's no glide slope. Then I started to descend manually according to these DME distances and these altitudes. I was stabilized, everything was good, and then I took over from the autopilot at the minimum, and then I continued for landing. I had my comm frequencies ready for tower and ground before coming down, and I had already briefed the missed approach procedure. And I set also the altitude for the missed approach on the altitude indicator, just in case I need to go around and I activate the autopilot. It's not gonna bust through that altitude. That's it, folks. And everything is good. A lot of people make a couple of mistakes here. When it says hold for release, that doesn't mean you just sit there and wait for him to release you. You have to call him back and say that you are ready to be released. You're ready to go. The second thing that people make a mistake on is once they get cleared for the localizer approach, they don't descend. There's no glide slope, and they just maintain their altitude, and suddenly they find themselves too high. That's a fail on this rating. You need to descend manually yourself according to these minimum altitudes, these distances. Don't bust them. Make sure you pay attention to the DME distances that you see here. Okay, and these minimum altitudes that you see here, etc. Okay, we're good. And I mentioned something, I'm not sure if you know it, it's called the visual descent point. Here's the missed, as we look at the chart, there's a missed approach point is right here. I can continue to this point before I decide whether to go around or descend. However, since I'm in a small aircraft, yes, that's fine. If I see the runway close to here, I can, boom, come down and land. Big jets cannot do that. Very dangerous, and this just can't be done. So they make their decision whether to go around or not at this point is called the VDP. visual descent point. How do you calculate this? If this is a 3-degree slope approximately, you take the height above the ground of the minimum. In this case is 663, and you divide that number by 300. This gives you a distance, approximate distance on a 3-degree slope that at which you have to go around. So I would go around here, not here. Absolutely legal. It's fine because I know I cannot. Let me clear everything now. It's just too many notations. I know that I have to go around here because if I don't see the runway at this point, or if I see it, look, this is a nice safe landing for a big jet. If not, you have to go around. Here, if the jet continues here and sees the runway, it cannot land like this with passengers. And that's what the VDB is for. Take the MDH, minimum descent height, divided by 300 approximately, and that will give you the distance in nautical miles. All right, that's it, folks, for this rating. There's only 2 more ratings to go, because one rating I believe is discontinued, and the next one is quite involved because it's a back course approach, after which there's a missed approach, there's a holding, and there's a diversion where you can pick up an IFR clearance in the air. And it's not hard, it's just a little bit long, quite involved, but with the G1000 I will show you how easy it is to do that rating. And here's beautiful San Diego, and we'll see you next time.